Hello, and welcome to Storytime here on Build-A-Bear Radio. I'm your host, Victoria, broadcasting from my home library to share these wonderful stories and grand adventures with you this summer. As a teacher of literature, I can tell you every story is better with a furry friend by your side. We have some exciting stories for you this week, so hop aboard for our first story today. Beth Ferry is here to read from The Bold, Brave Bunny.
Hello, my name is Beth Ferry, and I'm the author of The Bold, Brave Bunny, illustrated by Chow Han Lam. The book can be found in any bookstore where you shop, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or your favorite independent bookstore. And now I'm going to read to you The Bold, Brave Bunny. T2 the bunny lived in a very small burrow with his mother and father and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins. There were so many bunnies, it wasn't even funny. When he turned left, bunnies. When he turned right, bunnies. When he turned the pages of his brand new book, more bunnies. The baby bunnies were beside themselves. We're in a book. We're famous. We're awesome. They loved the book so much. They ate it. Yes, indeed, they giggled as they gobbled it right up. Oh, no. T2 told his mama, but it was always the same. Be nice. Be patient. Be a good brother, T2. And he tried, but what he wouldn't do to get a break from all the bunnies. That's it. He would break out of the burrow. There were so many bunnies, no one would even miss him. T2? It was the littlest bunny. Come back soon. T2 nodded. I will. B is for brave. B is for bold. B is not only for bunnies. Soon, nothing looked familiar, and everything looked different. It was wonderful. In the morning, T2 saw amazing things. He took out his notebook and began writing and sketching and creating. He would make a new book, his own book. He traveled by sunlight, by starlight, by moonlight, and by flashlight until his book was done. It was time to head home. T2 was tired and hungry and lost. He hugged his book tightly, wishing for a carrot, wishing for comfort, wishing for bunnies. T2 turned and saw his mother and father and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins. There were so many bunnies, it was actually funny. From the tips of their ears to the fluff of their tails, they made a chain of bunnies that led all the way back home. We missed you, the littlest bunny said, and T2 realized that he had missed them too. He held up his book. Look, he said. The baby bunnies were beside themselves. You wrote a book. You're famous. You're awesome. We're lucky, said the littlest bunny. Lucky you belong to us. And T2 realized that he was lucky too, because B was for brave, B was for bold, B was for belonging, and there was nothing better than that. The end.
Thank you, Beth. T2 is right. There is nothing better than belonging. I think our bold, brave bunny was also very wise. Buddy Bear wants to spend the afternoon finishing that story. And what's that, Buddy Bear? Well, yes, we do have time for one more story today. Today we are very lucky because Victoria Kann is here to read from her book tastily titled Pinkalicious. Let's meet our new friend. Hello, Victoria.
Hi, my name's Victoria Kann, and I am the author and illustrator of the Pinkalicious book series. And I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'm wondering, does anybody out there like the color pink? I love the color pink. I also love the color blue and the color purple and the color red. I guess I like all colors of the rainbow, but I have a preference for pink. And I'm going to read Pinkalicious. This is the very first book in the book series. There are over 60-something books now out there. There are early readers, there are picture books, there's Pinkalicious, Purplelicious, Goldalicious, Silverlicious, Aqualicious, Emeraldalicious, and Peterific, which is all about Pinkalicious's little brother, Peter. So you can see I'm really into color, and I hope you love color as much as I do. And maybe you've already read one of the books. Maybe you've already met Pinkalicious. Or maybe you've seen Pinkalicious and her brother on TV, on PBS Kids, or you can stream it on Amazon. So maybe you've already gotten to know them and all of their friends. And this book, Pinkalicious, is actually an episode on the animated TV show. So if you search online, you can probably watch it after you hear the story. And if you want to get the story, well, that's pretty easy. You just go online and get it. I'm sorry you can't see the pictures, but I'll explain them to you as I read the story. Are you ready? If you have your own book, you can read along with me. Pinkalicious, written by Victoria Kann and Elizabeth Kann. Elizabeth Kann is my sister. Illustrated by Victoria Kann. That's me. It was a rainy day, too wet to go outside. Mommy said, "Let's make cupcakes. What color do you want?" "Pink," I said. "Pink, pink, pink." Mommy put in some pink. "More," I cried. "More, more, more." I gobbled up a couple of cupcakes while Mommy and I frosted them. They were so yummy. They were Pinkalicious. I offered one to Peter, my little brother, but he is very picky and didn't want to eat his, so I ate it. And if you could see the page, you'd see there are lots of big, beautiful pink cupcakes, all with a cherry on top. "Please, Mommy, can I have just one more?" I begged when I woke up from my nap. "You get what you get, and you don't get upset," she said. But I got very upset. After dinner, I ate more cupcakes. Then I refused to go to bed. "Just one more pink cupcake and I'll go to sleep," I promised. Daddy waved a tired finger at me. "You have had enough." The next morning, when I woke up, I was pink. My face was pink, my hands were pink, and my belly was the color of a sunset. Well, I wish you could all see this page so you could see just how pink she is and how pink her hair is. And her cheeks are pink, her lips are pink, her little fingertips are pink. She is pink. Daddy thought I had played with the markers, so he gave me a bath. The pink did not come off. And let me tell you, since you can't see the page, I will tell you that Pinkalicious has quite a smile on her face. My hair was the color of raspberry sorbet. I cried because I was so beautiful. I even had pink tears. I put on my pink fairy princess dress and twirled in front of the mirror while Mommy speed dialed the pediatrician. "I'm Pinkerbell, look at me, I'm Pinkerbell," I sang. Mommy grabbed her purse. "Just one more cupcake, please, just one more," I yelled on the way out the door. Mommy took me right to the doctor's office. Dr. Wink looked at me and said, "You have a very rare and acute case of pinkatitis. I guess that's not the worst thing that could happen. Just call me Pinkerella." Then Dr. Wink said, "For the next week, no more pink cupcakes, pink bubble gum, or pink cotton candy. Boo! To return to normal, you must eat a steady diet of green food. Yuck!" On the way home, we stopped at the playground. My friend Allison was there, but she didn't see me because I blended in with the pink peonies. When I waved to Allison, a bumblebee landed on my nose. "Buzz off! I'm not a flower," I scolded the bee. Now, if you could see this page, you could see Pinkalicious amongst all the beautiful flowers, as pink as she can be. Soon I was surrounded by bees, butterflies, and birds. "Mommy," I cried, "please take me home." When we left the playground, I asked Mommy if I could eat another pink cupcake when we got home. "Don't you remember what the doctor told you?" she said. "No more cupcakes." Peter tugged at my pigtails. "I wish I were pink like you," he said. He was green with envy. That night, I pretended to eat my dinner of mushy, dark green vegetables. After everyone went to sleep, I sneaked into the kitchen, climbed onto a chair, and reached on my tippy toes to the top of the refrigerator where Mommy had hidden the cupcakes. I took just one more pink cupcake and ate it. Then I licked the pink cupcake wrapper clean. Now, if you could see this page, you would see that Pinkalicious has stacked quite dangerously, something you would never do at home, lots of things on the table, and is reaching for a cupcake. And there are 3 cupcakes on a platter on top of the refrigerator. When I woke up in the morning, I felt different. I ran to the mirror and peered at my reflection. I was a deeper pink than I had ever seen. In fact, I was no longer pink. I was red. "Oh, no, not red!" I screamed. I didn't want to be red. I should not have eaten that pink cupcake last night. I wanted to be myself again. I knew what I had to do. Do you know what she has to do? Do you remember what Dr. Wink said? I opened the fridge, held my nose, and squeezed a bottle of icky green relish onto my tongue. I ate pickles and spinach, olives and okra. I choked down artichokes, gagged on grapes, and burped up Brussels sprouts. The next thing I knew, my arms tickled, my ears tingled, and my feet twitched. Now, if you were here with me, I would ask you to point out all the delicious green food on this page, because there are so many yummy things that I think you would like. I think you would like the melon and the peas and the celery. I think you might even like the grapes. They're very sweet and delicious. All right, so I'm going to turn the page now. Are you ready to continue the story? I was no longer red. I was no longer pink. I was me, and I was beautiful. So, what happened to the rest of the cupcakes, Pinkalicious? Daddy asked. Just then, Peter ran in and yelled, Pinkaboo! Now on this page, Peter has turned pink. It looks like he has eaten the rest of the cupcakes. He is holding a great big pink cupcake in his hand, and he has taken quite a few bites. So that is the end of the story. Now we know what happened to the cupcakes, and Peter is pink perfection. I thank you so much for joining me, and I want you to know if you ever want to communicate with Pinkalicious, you can communicate with her on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to communicate with me, I'm Victoria B. Kann, and I'm on Instagram. And I hope I hear from you. I hope you love this book. Oh, and by the way, there are lots of coloring pages, if you're interested, that you can print out. They are on thinkpinkalicious.com. So I'd love to see your drawings. I'd love to know what you thought. And I thank you for thinking pink with me. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Victoria. That was so fun. I love blue, but I wouldn't want to be blue all day. I think we're all born just the way we should be. I can't wait to finish that book and check off another great adventure from my Build-A-Bear summer reading list. If you haven't already, make sure you head over to buildabear.com/radio to download your own free reading list and track your progress. Thank you so much for joining me here on Build-A-Bear Radio for another great episode of Storytime. With new authors joining us each week with great stories you won't want to miss out. Bring your coziest blanket and a cuddly furry friend every weekday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, exclusively here on Build-A-Bear Radio. Until next time, I'm your host Victoria, closing this chapter of Storytime. See you soon.